Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
We're talking about Chris Brown's explosive performance inside a dressing room tonight. After his interview and performance on Good Morning America this morning, ABC says he smashed a window. He was reportedly upset after Robin Roberts pressed him, I don't even know if I'd say pressed him, asked him about his assault case involving Rihanna. News junkies are back with me. Ben, was Robin Roberts out of line here today?
Not in the slightest. It's news. This is a man who's in the news all the time. He consented voluntarily to be on the show. And no matter what, even if somebody asks you a rude question, you're not allowed to get in the security guard's face. You're not allowed to throw a chair through the window. I mean, that's just not allowable behavior, and it's really an extremely bad role model and example for young Americans or even any age Americans. I think it's really, really, really unfortunate.
Laura Reese, are you surprised by his reaction?
Well, of course. I mean, but this is what he's known for, this anger, explosiveness. I mean, this is what they were trying to get out of him. And that's what is always going to happen. What's shocking is that he was shocked they would ask about Rihanna. Of course, when Tiger Woods gets interviewed, you don't think they're going to ask about his mistresses now and for 2 years and probably forever. It's part of him. He has to deal with it. He's got to give an interview where he talks. And look at his body language, that blonde hair. All of these things are sending a terrible message that running out without your shirt on with these tattoos. I mean, clearly he needs a better PR person, maybe reining him in or doing something.
All right, let's go to Darlene, who's in New York tonight on the phone lines. Darlene, what do you think?
Oh, I just get upset because this guy's been given every chance. I can remember Clay Aiken going on shows, and every time he put out an album, the first question asked of him in an interview was, "Are you gay?" Who cares? The guy didn't hurt anybody.
Darlene, I get your point. And Clay Aiken didn't act out the way this guy did. To me, it's a big problem, the way he reacted to the situation. You have something to say it on the air, right? Ben Stein, great to see you tonight. Laura Reese, as always, thank you so much.
In New York. And AJ, this apparently started after questions about Rihanna and his plea deal in the assault case. Is that right?
It is right. And questions that Robin Roberts, who did the interview, had every right to be asking this morning. Chris Brown, Susan, still apparently hasn't learned how to tactfully deal with the fact that his past violence and his legal trouble will continue to follow him. Brown, of course, was sentenced to 5 years probation and 180 days of community labor after pleading guilty to assaulting his former girlfriend, Rihanna. Well, the restraining order keeping him away from Rihanna, allowing him to be anywhere near her, was recently relaxed. So naturally, when Brown appeared this morning on Good Morning America, Robin Roberts wanted to ask him about that. Chris clearly had no interest in even creatively answering her questions. Watch how this went down.
What's going on now is that recently the restraining order against you that Rihanna had issued has been relaxed. Have you all... you can go to events and be in the same room. Have you all seen each other, been around each other?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's not really a big deal to me now as far as that situation. I think I'm past that in my life, and I think today is the album day, so that's what I'm focused on. So everybody go get that album.
Have you been able to? How have you been able to?
I've been focusing on this album, you know. I think this album is what, you know, I want people to hear and want people to really get into. So definitely this album is what I want them to talk about and not the stuff that happened 2 years ago.
Okay, he wanted to focus on the album. Well, after the interview, Brown performed as scheduled, but he stormed off stage when he was done performing. ABC reports that the show's hair and makeup staff called security because they heard loud noises coming from Brown's dressing room. A window in Brown's dressing room was smashed, and that caused shattered glass to fall onto the street below in Times Square. Brown then reportedly blew off his next scheduled performance at ABC, ripped off his shirt, and left the building. Susan, there's no confirmation that it was in fact Brown who broke the window, but it is clear, even from his level of agitation in that interview, that he has not yet figured out how to appropriately deal with the fact that this is a significant part of his history, and people are going to ask him about it.
Is he commenting, AJ, about this? I know it's early, but is he saying anything about maybe why this happened or if he did it?
Well, as of now, there are no official statements coming from his camp, no official confirmation saying it was he who broke that window when all of this went down, but we've been monitoring Brown's Twitter account. Shortly after the incident, he did tweet his clear disgust with the fact that his past continues to follow him. Here's what he tweeted. "I'm so over people bringing this past blank up, yet we praise Charlie Sheen and other celebs for their blank." Well, that post was taken down a bit later, but he did attempt some positivity, tweeting a bit later on, "All my fans, this album is for you and only you. I'm so tired of everyone else. Honestly, I love Team Breezy." For their part, ABC News tells Showbiz Tonight, as always, we ask questions that are relevant and newsworthy, and that's what we did in this interview with Mr. Brown. And Brown reportedly was aware that these questions were going to be raised. All of this obviously could prove to be a huge setback for Chris Brown's image. It has slowly been rehabilitating. We've seen some good things come of the past year or so with Chris. Hopefully, for his sake, I'm thinking somebody in his camp better prepare him better to handle these questions that he will inevitably be faced with again, Susan. And today